All right, I'm Dr. Ebonie Vincent, and I am here with Mr. Fred Terranova, and we are at the Present eLearning Systems Conference at the Indigo Hotel in California. I just got finished listening to an amazing lecture. Fred is a part of Clear Labs Solutions, and it has very great innovative ways for patients and for private podiatry practices in terms of bacteria and fungal diagnosis. So Fred, could you please just tell us what are the current practices that podiatrists are doing for their patients and how your system is actually more effective and more innovative?
Okay, sure. So I used to own a lab very similar to some of the big national labs that are out there, and we used to ask doctors to send us the specimens and we would diagnose them. But we found that the time difference from getting the sample harvested to getting to the lab sometimes made the sample unviable. So we came up with a solution of why not create a lab solution for the physician in office, letting the physician take control of the specimen, making sure that the specimen is a viable specimen, and letting them glean the ancillary revenue. And it's worked out really well. We started this company in December of 2018. We came to one of our first conferences with Present, and we rolled it out, and we put on 8 labs last year. We take pride in not rushing the product. We like to really get to know the client, make sure that it's right. We don't have a McDonald's philosophy.
Right.
We have more like a mom and pop philosophy. So we stay with you, we help you through the whole process, and we train you. We do a lot of hand-holding, and we make sure that you're profitable. Yeah, it helps the patient so much because, you know, you can sample the patient today, run it today, and have an answer today.
Right.
And because molecular testing is 99.8% accurate versus the old school of culturing. Culturing is about 40 to 60% accurate, and that all depends on a pathologist interpreting what he or she is seeing.
Exactly.
And each pathologist looks at something different. You know, it's like you can present something to one and they may make a ruling on this, but you present the same specimen to a different pathologist and they get a whole
totally
different read.
Thing. So as it stands now, normally in podiatry practices, you have a patient, they come in with a wound, you take a culture of the wound and you send it out to a lab.
Right.
That lab takes about 2 weeks to get back to you, and that's after the potential of your specimen being compromised. And then within 2 weeks, anything is liable to happen. Your patient could be placed on the wrong antibiotics, your patient could go to the hospital, you could be doing several INDs on your patient, as opposed to with Clear Lab Solutions, you can take a sample in your office and then potentially the same day have a better understanding of what the diagnosis is, place the patient on better labs, and then potentially avoid an entire hospital stay. Is that correct?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, we have some physicians that when they are removing hardware from a patient after a surgical procedure, they swab it to make sure that the patient doesn't have something growing there before they leave and go home.
Right.
Because the worst thing you want to do is send a patient home and the wound becomes septic.
Exactly.
Oh, now you're looking at an amputation. Oh, an amputation is $60,000 to the insurance companies. I mean, this is really the best solution.
Right.
It's really low cost when you look at the big scheme of things, and it creates better patient care for the physician and the practice,
right.
And it gleans that ancillary revenue for the practice. And like I always tell my physicians, don't go buy a yacht with the money that you're going to make. Get another practice, hire more associates, treat more patients. I mean, because really, you're doing this to help people.
Right. And I wanted to touch just a little bit too on the majority of people who come for nail fungus. A lot of times we are treating with the same type of medications, but with Clear Lab Solutions you can get more specific. That's correct, right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
It really hones in exactly what's there. It's really
Perfect.
amazing.
So that's one part of what I love about Clear Lab Solutions, benefiting the patient. So that's perfect. But now in the presentation, it was very clear how it's going to benefit the private practice podiatrist. So if you could get a little specific about that. I know someone asked the question about how many patient samples will it take to start generating that revenue. If you could get specific about that and let those who are in private practice know what the benefits are, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. Well, there's a capital cost to get the equipment. There's actually the cost of the reagents and the card to do it. There's the cost of labor. There's the cost of the overhead. And so approximately paying back the note that you're going to finance the equipment on, the labor, the supplies, comes to about $14,000 of overhead. So your average reimbursement federally is about $850. So it's a real simple thing of doing the math. You need about 14 to 18 patients to pay the bill.
And that's 14 to 18 patients per month?
Per month.
Per month, okay.
Correct. And we look at a lot of these, a lot of our clients, we're turning away a lot of patients because, well, what is it? Now by them having the system in their lab, in their practice, they can now get this response right away, and they can glean the revenue. I mean, we have small practices that we see 20 to 50 specimens per month collected from 6 podiatrists, all the way to one of our largest clients, which has 100 podiatrists. And I can only tell you that in 4 months of operating, they have had $4 million in billable.
That's a lot of revenue. That's potential.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, considering a bunionectomy, you're going to get a reimbursement of maybe $500 if you're lucky, and you're going to have all the liability of that wound. Okay, here you're looking at something that you can do relatively easy and glean a really good revenue stream. I mean, it's. I'm not a doctor. I'm a business guy. I surround myself with smart people. I have PhDs, geneticists that develop these panels. And it's just a great fit. I really do think it's a great fit for the physicians, and not only podiatrists. I mean, this could be used for MDs.
Right. Well, I think that's the whole name of the game. You want to benefit your patient, and you want to keep your practice afloat with revenue to spare. And I think that your Clear Lab Solutions could be a great thing to incorporate in a private practice. So thank you so much for your time. And Clear Lab Solutions, this is Fred Terranova.
Yes, thank you so much. And I just want to tell you that we love coming to the Present events. They're really great. I really like teaching doctors some things that they don't normally see day to day. And I'm very happy that Present provides that opportunity for the physicians. It's a great thing.
Absolutely. I'm learning a lot, for sure. So thank you so much. I appreciate your time.